Welcome everyone to the G Podcast. I'm Darren,
And I'm Jacob.
and we have a great show for you today. We're back from a Canadian holiday. It was a long weekend over here in Canada, but we're back with a brand new episode. We have a lot to get into. Obviously, the series finale of Game of Thrones is in the book. We'll be talking a little bit about a new actor's name that is poised to be the next Dark Knight, which is
Very
Batman for
controversial.
the
Yeah.
very controversial. We'll get into that. We have a brand new top five sports, and we have quite a little bit of a controversial topic, but we'll get into that later. But Jake, let's get into it. Game of Thrones. I know you watched it after it premiered, and for those of you who joined the post wrap Instagram live video with me and Lady Alicia, we appreciate it. Glad everyone tuned in and watched. So first thoughts on the series finale, Jake. What did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Like, what made it
Well,
good? What made it
I,
bad?
I did I did catch you guys on your live little stream there. It was pretty cool. I'm glad I didn't get any spoilers before I watched it because I watched it as soon as you guys went off the air on our
Excellent.
Instagram account. But okay, not bad, but not great.
Right.
I'm like 50-50 on this episode because the season wasn't great, so it kind of ended. Half the episode was good, half of it was very disappointing. And spoiler alert for anybody listening, we're going to talk about what happened in the episode.
Right.
So the ending, not great, but what really confused me was when he got rid of the queen. I get the dragon thing,
Mm-hmm.
but what happened after? Why do we skip a giant sequence from when Daenerys dies? But what about after? He just walks himself into the dungeons and locks himself up. Do they catch him? Is there a struggle? Is there a fight? He killed their queen. Like, what
Yeah.
happened? Like,
No, no.
how did they decide on who's going to be king? Like, I saw the whole process, but it was still confusing.
Right. Yeah. No, I can see that, and obviously John not being one to confront someone that he knows, so I'm sure he just turned himself over to Grey Worm and put him into the prison that they have down there. But yeah, obviously it was it had its moments, good and bad. Obviously, there was a big theory going into the final episode that Jamie was somehow alive. Obviously, that was squashed 5 minutes into the episode
Yeah,
by Tyrion finding him and Cersei dead
and that was
under
the
the
best
rock.
part of the episode, Darren, because that entire intro
Hmm.
of just going through the city and finding them that took like what 8-10 minutes.
Yeah,
Really good,
yeah,
really
no,
nicely shot, really nicely done.
exactly. Seeing all the destruction that Dany and her dragon has done
Yeah.
was quite something to see. Uh, King's Landing being burned to the ground. Uh, and so and then they have their big rally where she plans to be like, I'm gonna free the entire world. So she's not stopping at Westeros. She wants the entire world to be under her reign, and where everyone is just be like, oh, this is not good. She's really gone off the rails. And Tyrion saying like, you know what, if you're doing this, I don't want to be your hand anymore. So he throws the hand of the queen medallion on the ground. She obviously, sends him to the jail, and he surrenders. So John, trying to be, trying to keep everyone in the same boat, tells him that, he says like, you shouldn't be doing this, and then Tyrion tells John that you should just relax. You should really take a look at what your queen is doing, and like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. What she did in King's Landing, and trying to convince John to take care of her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Well,
so, so
it was a good scene of them just talking
yeah,
and
those two
trying to
really
figure out
had
what the hell is going on.
exactly. So obviously it wasn't really of a big shock where John killed Danny. I thought everyone was pretty much knew that that was coming. But a lot of people are really mad at the writers for especially this season and the final two episodes where they built up Daenerys as this hero and this breaker of chains and all this stuff. This such good person, and how they can flip the script on her in the final two episodes. I think that's what really had fans really pissed off.
Well, yeah, and there's still so many loose ends and transitions from one scene to another without even, how you got there, or like there's so much detail in the entire show, and then
Mhm.
just over this season, just skipping, like putting things together at the beginning, and then just skipping certain things in the middle and the end of the season. So it was just odd for me.
Yeah.
Like where does her body get taken away to?
Well,
Like there's so many
there's a
loose
lot of
ends that they can actually
yeah,
come back. They can come
yeah,
back and make another season or two of where they did, where they went, and what they're doing.
right. No, obviously there's a lot of I think the only person that would know where where Daenerys was buried and where Drogon is would be Bran, because he obviously can see and
Right.
see the past, the future, the present. So obviously, so that takes care of that. And the big thing, and Lady Alicia touched on this off on her post show on Sunday night. Drogon destroying the throne. So she said that there wasn't going to be a throne for anyone to sit on, and she was right about that.
Right.
So, like, were you surprised at the way that they destroyed the throne?
Yeah, it was more of a symbol for the season. I think that kind of decent way of they should like put that more near the end of eliminating the throne, and then that not being a symbol of the kingdoms anymore. So yeah, that's not bad. That kind of like puts a stamp on this is what started it, and now it's ended.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So obviously you have a dead queen, no throne, and so everyone's just they gather all the kings and queens throughout the seven kingdoms to King's Landing to have a big powwow conference to decide who's going to be who's going to be king. And Tyrion says like, well, let's just go around and let's see who has the best story, because he's always talking about the story. And I think it was Sam that came up like, how about we just vote for one, and just he kind of invented democracy right then and there.
And then he got laughed at.
And then he got laughed at for leaving a plastic water bottle by his foot. Yeah.
I did not
Another
notice that.
one.
I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I know, right? So obviously, and then there's I forget the character's name that stood up. So it's like, oh, I think I would be the perfect choice. And then Sansa just look at him was like, just sit down. You're not, no. And so obviously there was the humor there, and then obviously, the Tyrion decided to pick Bran the Broken, which is a horrible name for a king, right?
Well, yeah, but there's a reason why. He gave us a reason why. Now, what kind of got me is Sansa being all bitch like and saying, "Yeah, that's cool. My brother is going to be the king of everything, but we're going to be separate."
Yeah, we'll be our own
Just
independent.
because she's greedy and she wants to be the queen. So how does that make sense? But that just one of the characters that I really don't like in this entire series. So
Hmm.
that's expected for her to be like that.
Well, I think she always wanted to be queen, either the queen of the Seven Kingdoms or the queen of Winterfell. She was always Winterfell, through and true, during this entire series. So it's good that she finally got what she wanted. Winterfell is its own independent kingdom. So they kind of like just leave us alone in the north, and you guys just do whatever you need to do.
Right.
So that makes sense. Obviously, right then, you talk about having all these people, you know, which kind of made no sense, is that there are certain people that were on that council that really shouldn't be on that council. Like, why is Brienne of Tarth there? She's
No
just a
idea.
knight. She's just a knight.
Yeah, she doesn't own any lands.
No, she doesn't know. So I don't know. So obviously, it gets to that point where they decide on what to do with Jon Snow. They said leave him, or to turn him over to the Night's Watch, but there's really nothing to watch.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
White
That's why
Walkers.
it felt really rushed near the end because like, yeah, put this character there, put this character here, throw this character in that. And so
Yeah,
all everybody's in. Okay, we got a story. Go. It was recorded.
exactly. In that
Felt
final,
very rushed.
yeah, in that final scene where he just it's him and with the wildlings, where they're just riding out, and then they're just like is like, and he takes a look back at well, what used to be the wall there. So it was kind of like bittersweet, you know. To get this guy, he just tried to be, you know, the best guy he can be, and he gets screwed over, you know, time after time, and then he just rides off into the sunset with his redheaded friend there, Tormund. So
Right. And then again, more confusing shit because he's supposed to be the Night's Watch, but what are they watching? And then he
hmm
just goes even further north, and I don't know, maybe that's where he's supposed to eventually be. I don't
yeah,
know. That's he was mentioned a couple of seasons back. Is you know where he was, where you belong when you first went to get the Wildlings to join their cause. You know, it is mentioned that oh, well, this is where you belong. You would fit in, but maybe that's why. But still,
exactly. So obviously, a lot of people have mixed emotions on the finale. Obviously, the fans online were take it way too serious. Like it's a TV show. Relax. It's not gonna affect your life in any way if it was good or
right,
bad.
right.
But George R. Martin said that um, the Game of Thrones finale was kind of underwhelming from his point of view. But that's because he says that he's working on a different ending on the books. So when the final two books come out, uh, there's gonna be some similarities to the show, but according to him, that the ending's gonna be different. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
why we get to buy the books and spend the
that's
money.
why. That's why exactly. So I think that was the whole point of you know, him holding off on the last book. So let's get the TV show done, and we'll see if if the fans like the TV show ending, or they're gonna like the book ending. You know, he says, and I quote, "I expect these last two books of mine will fill 3,000 manuscript pages before them, and I'm done." He wrote, if more pages and chapters or scenes are needed, I'll add them." So there you go. So
Yeah,
he
we'll
has
see.
pretty much all set to go, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, I haven't read the books, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that will buy them, and they'll be a New York Times bestseller. You know, and
Probably. Yeah,
I'll, I'll,
I got my first one already. I
oh
like my
yeah,
books in paperback, so I'm waiting
exactly.
till they'll come out of paperback and then I'll read them all.
Or I'll just get an audio version of the book, and I'll just listen.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Somebody's whispering in your ear.
Yes, you know,
So
with an
some of that in audiobooks, some of that language in the books will really sound interesting.
exactly, right? Because like because you hear it like pronounced one way, you think it's
That's true.
pronounced one way in your head, and then you hear the audio version of like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to sound. Okay,
Right.
okay, oh, that makes sense.
Right. Exactly. Some of those somebody describing some of those graphic scenes would be interesting.
Exactly, right? So,
Okay. This is the
yeah.
I want my Game of Thrones on tape.
Hey, that's why it's there. It's good for like long car
Here you go,
rides.
sir. 800 tapes.
800 tapes, or just one really
That's
long audio file.
really long. Oh yeah, that'll
hmm
be huge.
hmm So yeah, so that's
There you
Game of
go.
Thrones.
Game
From
of Thrones. Done.
Exactly,
No
it's
more Game
done.
of
It's
Thrones
in the
talk. It's
book.
crazy.
It's
Can you believe it?
sad, you know. Yeah, we should.
Wow.
We should have started this podcast a couple years ago. We would have a lot more Game of Thrones talk.
Right.
We'll
Oh,
do
all right.
that.
Moving on from one, series finale to
Yeah.
another. I don't know. Confusing DC Comics announcement
hmm
where I think the rumor is they decided on a new Batman.
Yes.
Now my
Well,
question is this guy going to sparkle? He
I,
sparkles in his previous movies. He was
you know
terrible.
what? I don't know, because you know he's got a lot of fan base. You know, because he. Well, let's look at it this way, Jake. He played a vampire. Now he's playing a bat.
Yeah, great.
Ex-
Will his
ex-
hair fit under the mask?
exactly. Well, his face will be covered.
Oh
You know,
God.
so for those who don't like, you know, if you don't know who we're talking about Robert Pattinson.
Addison. Yeah.
Pattinson, I think, if the British way of saying it, um, has get the tap from Warner Brothers to be the next Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. But
Oh man, I don't know how I
yeah,
feel about this. I prefer Batman to be, I don't know, a little more stockier than a skinny little pale dude.
well,
It
you
just
talk
doesn't
about
work for me.
a skinny little pale dude. Okay, obviously the pale can be fixed, obviously, through spray tan and all that stuff. But you talk about like skinny dudes. Michael Keaton was a skinny dude when he first
No
did
one
it.
said Michael Keaton was a good Batman.
You're not a fan of Michael Keaton? No,
Oh,
no.
Christian Bale is the best
Okay,
Batman for
all
me.
right,
So,
all right, okay.
there you go.
You know
For
what?
those out there.
I really think it was the Christopher Nolan that made Christian Bale look so good. I'm not saying
Yes.
that his performance wasn't great, but I think having a high caliber director and editors and a great story and great writers make
Right.
an
And the
actor.
Nolan movies to me are the only Batman movies that I will watch because everything else to me is pure garbage. Sorry.
Yeah.
All the old shit, I don't like it. Too goofy. No, no way. I can't watch it. Might as well just watch the Adam West TV series if I want to go that far back.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah. If you want to go that way, obviously, growing up, the first Batman with Michael Keaton, the first two, I should say, were great. I think they were good for a long time until obviously, um, the whole Dark Knight trilogy came out. But leave it to Warner Brothers for mixing it around, because they went from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer to George
George
Clooney.
Clooney. Oh God.
Yeah, you can't say that they got it right every single time. Like George
They
Clooney as
didn't get it
Batman,
any. They
really?
didn't get it right
No,
any of the time. Sorry.
I'm sorry. George Clooney should have never played Batman whatsoever.
None of them should have.
No, but oh come on, who would you rather have? Would you rather have um, Michael Keaton or George Clooney playing Batman?
Neither.
No, you had to pick one.
Nope.
No, okay.
I
Well,
refuse. Darren, I
obviously,
refuse. Damn it.
wow.
I will
Well,
die on this hill.
okay, so you're saying that you enjoyed seeing Ben Affleck, the chunky, hamburger eating Ben Affleck
Okay,
playing
listen.
Batman?
That metal suit of that suit of armor he was wearing was awful. But I
Which was,
understand with it. At least Ben
yeah,
Affleck
yeah.
was 250, 240, 6'5". Okay,
What makes you? But
that's bad.
listen, Jake,
Like,
what makes you think that Robert Pattinson's going to show up on set with weighing 125 pounds? Of
I've seen
course
his
of
movies.
course he's gonna bulk up.
You know what? You're right. Hold on. The DC does way over the top CGI as our last Shazam review went.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
they
god.
might just stack some CGI on him and there he goes, Batman.
Hmm.
Hey, by the way, you did watch Shazam, didn't you?
I
After
did watch Shazam, and you were right. Yeah, I thought it
oh
was.
wow,
I
that's
thought it was.
recorded. I'll
I
take it.
know. I thought it was a big piece of shit. Um, it didn't make me laugh once. I know it's supposed to had. I think they missed the Marvel humor because I think they need Marvel Studios to do those movies. Uh, but yeah, but getting back to this Batman thing, I just think that I think they're kind of rehashing the original Batman movie with Michael Keaton because there's also reports that his villains are going to be the Penguin and Catwoman. Once
Great.
again, you're rehashing that. So then it becomes who plays Catwoman, who plays the Penguin. Obviously.
Can we just get the new Joker movie to integrate into that? Might as well.
No, no,
Instead
no,
of
no,
that
no, no.
that campy artsy uh, Joker movie, just into this thing, and then just get it all done in one shot.
Wow. So,
Uh,
so obviously, Twitter just went crazy when this was announced on Friday. So I got some of these tweets posted. One says Robert Pattinson as Batman. Nope. Robert Pattinson as Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as Batman / mentor. Yes. So they might be looking at that. They might do a combo. Having both Michael Keaton in this as old Batman and young Batman. I don't know.
well, that's one movie I won't be seeing.
Wow. Yeah, you say that now. You say that
No,
now,
no,
and then
it's on record. I'm
and
not
then,
seeing that
and
movie.
then you see the trailer, like, that might look good.
No, it won't. It will not. I'm sorry, it will not. It won't. There's no way.
So obviously, okay. Well, let's put it in your hand. If you're a director of the studio and you want to do a Batman movie, but you can't use Christian Bale, who would you pick?
I have to scour.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
would you
I
rather
don't
would you
know.
would you rather take an unknown or someone that with the track record?
Oh, I'd take an unknown. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. As long as they fit the profile, um, they got the pedigree to do it. It has to be someone who is rough around the edges and can play a billionaire and can play a action
Hmm.
hero.
Yeah.
You can see it. Like they cast Aquaman perfectly.
Yeah.
They did. No, it was a shit movie, but they cast him perfectly. That's just how it is. Wonder Woman cast perfectly. Actually, a good movie.
Hmm.
I mean, like that's good. That's DC did that right. That's all they
Yeah.
did right. That's what
Exactly.
they did.
So yeah, so there you go. So obviously, me and Jake have we agree to disagree when it comes to Batman.
Yep.
Obviously, so
You can tell me about it when it comes out in 3 years.
it's supposed to come out 2021, something like that. I don't know. They keep on pushing it back. So
Well, they have to defeat Robert Pattinson, so he's bulked up a little bit.
yeah, he's got plenty of time to eat some pasta and to bulk up.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. So from that, is it top five time?
I got a couple things, TV and movie related.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Black Mirror, June 5th.
Yes, I saw the trailer for this. It
Yeah,
looks amazing.
it
I
does.
can't
Now
wait.
it's 3 episodes, isn't it?
Is it
I
three
think I
episodes?
think it's only 3 episodes in
Ah,
this season.
well, I'm sure they're well. They're pretty much like three individual movies, anyways. So
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, so that
No,
looks really good. I don't know.
no, it
I'm
looks really
excited
good. I've
about
I've been a big fan of Black Mirror for a long time,
it.
and just seeing like when it originally started over in the UK, it was a
Yes.
show, and it really went in like wow, it's like this stuff could happen. The technology is just so it's so advanced these days. Where this could happen. This is a
Yeah,
possibility.
it's a very attractive show because it just challenges your technology and your
Hmm.
state of mind, right? And now
Hmm.
we waited 2 years almost for this season to come out.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
hopefully it doesn't disappoint. I'm very, very optimistic that it'll follow the other seasons and
that's
it'll be
that's fun.
entertaining.
That's funny. You said the word optimistic. You're usually a pessimistic, there, Jake.
No, I'm optimistic that
Uh, the-
because
the-
all the other ones were great. I
yeah.
enjoyed every single episode. The movie
Uh-huh.
wasn't bad either. So no,
No.
I'm looking forward to it.
So
It
like,
only takes away like 3 episodes of my life. So I don't
sure. So like episode. What was your favorite episode? Black Mirror episode.
there was some good ones, but the one the guy goes into that video gaming company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. Where they test his mind on the new video game.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
No, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I like the one. I forget the name of it. Where it's like a GPS unit into like your child's head, and then you have a tablet, and there's an app where you can see what they see, you
Yes.
know, hear what they hear, and then you can actually uh, block out, like violent images so they see.
Yeah.
So everything they see, it just becomes a blur to
Blur.
them.
Man, what
Yeah.
is your kids up?
Yeah. Can you imagine
What's
that?
that blur? I don't know.
I don't know. What's that red blur? Don't worry about it. It's nothing.
It's great. Well, no, it's a good show. We'll talk about it when it comes out. We'll do a
Mhm.
little quick recap review. And
Yeah.
we'll go from there. But yeah, you're right. The first time, top five. Let's get to it.
Top five.
Going crazy. Top five, no debating. Top five, top five, top five.
Top five. All right, top five. Since this is like TV start to our show today, TV movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
I figured let's do something a little different, TV movie related actually, and
Yep.
we can do a top five gangster movies.
Gangster movies. Okay.
Gangster
Well,
movies.
hold on
Uh-oh.
before you continue. Is this
Not hip hop
gangster
gangster.
like
Gangster gangster.
Italian gangster, or
Yes.
talking
Yes.
about like
Like a
Coolio,
mob.
genuine gangster rapper?
Like a mob movie.
Oh, mob movies. Okay. All right.
This
I don't know
is like
because you said because I know you're a Tupac fan.
oh,
I know he acted a little bit. I didn't know you're like gangsta or
you
gangster.
stole my top
you know?
five in 2 weeks.
Oh darn it! Oh.
Damn it. Spoiled it. Top five Tupac movies.
We'll tune in next week. I'm doing top five gangsta movies
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay, let's do
featuring
that.
featuring 50 Cent.
Exhibit and
Top
Tupac.
Exhibit's little cameo in 8 Mile when he was rap battling Eminem.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was good.
For God's sakes, look at your goddamn boots. For Christ's sakes, it's time to grow roots. I still think that was the best part of the movie.
That's funny. That's good. Oh right, yeah, those street battles at the food truck. It's great.
Oh yeah, constant. Because that's what the Detroiters do every day, right?
It's what happens. That's why.
Oh, you talking crap about me at the lunch truck? Me and you rap battle.
That's right. Lay it down. All right, get back to reality.
Give me a beat.
That's not gangster movies.
Gangster movies.
So
Okay.
there's a top 5. Don't hate me. It's just the top 5 in general. It's not my top 5. It's in general top 5.
It's not your personal top 5 list.
No, but this is a really good top 5, and I've seen all of them, and I like all of them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get your opinion on it, but we're gonna go number 5.
Okay.
The Departed.
Okay. Yeah.
The
All right.
Departed. Yeah. That was a good movie. Good cast. Jack Nicholson, Leo, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Alec Baldwin. It was a really entertaining movie, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. All right, The Untouchables.
Great movie. Fantastic movie.
I thought so too.
Robert De Niro as Al Capone.
It was entertaining. It's a few years old, but you should see it. Goodfellas, number 3.
Good. Oh, you know what, Jake? I gotta say that seems to be a little bit low.
I know, but the top 2,
higher.
and I know, but you'll see the top 2, and I'll explain the top 2. And this is my number 1, but it's number 2 on this list. Scarface.
See, I think there are other better gangster movies than Scarface. I think that's Scarface. Way too high for that one.
Right. But I like Scarface. Okay. And number 1, obviously, Godfather trilogy.
Wow. All right. Well,
you know what's missing though?
Yeah, A Bronx Tale.
No, the Casino.
That should be on there.
Casino.
What?
Casino's missing.
Casino, yeah, that should be. I put A Bronx Tale and Casino above Scarface.
Oh no.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
no.
Scarface. Scarface is my number 1 personally. Love the movie. It's great. But you know that Scarface is a remake, right? The one we know. The Scarface that came out in the 80s is a remake of a 1960s Italian mob movie called Scarface.
Exactly. Obviously, they thought they could do it better with an Italian actor playing a Cuban immigrant, but speaking like an Italian, you know.
Oh, jeez. I like the movie. I don't know, but I know Godfather on this. No, but there you go. That's my top 5 gangster movie.
Have you ever seen a Bronx Tale?
Very long time ago, yes.
Yeah, great movie. Right. That movie is so quotable. It's one of the best.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a list. We all have our own top 5s.
There you go.
If you guys have something to add to what we just said, let us know.
And those who have seen A Bronx Tale, you know that should be up on that list.
I didn't make the damn list.
Obviously, whoever did make it obviously didn't see A Bronx Tale.
I know. Probably. They missed a few movies, but we'll leave it at that.
Exactly.
All right, so let's catch a little break before sports, and let's do a music feature. And our music feature today is a friend of the show. We featured him before, Lifted Music. And why I'm putting Lifted on this show today, I know we haven't had music in a couple weeks, but today we're going to do Lifted because we're working on something together. Like, if you guys know what announcement last week. You guys
collaboration.
Maybe.
Or is this Jacob featuring?
No. This is right now. This is just Lifted. It's an awesome track called "Do You Know What It's Like." It's one of my favorite tracks that he's got out there. That is definitely one of my favorites, and the reason we're doing Lifted again is because we're working on something. We were talking about maybe doing a track together. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to wait till the album comes out in the summer to find out if we actually did collaborate in something. But we're working on some stuff. Now, Do You Know What It's Like? It's a great track. It's one of my favorite ones besides Change You. Change You is like on my playlist, on my rotation. Do You Know What It's Like is right there. And we're going to play Lifted. Do You Know What It's Like? Right now.
Give up inside. Do you know what it's like to be alive? alone in a fight. I said, do you know what it's like to wanna give up inside? Do you know what it's like to be alone in a fight? I said, don't you know? Do you know what it's like to wanna give up inside? Do you know what it's like to be alone in a fight? I said, don't you know, don't you know? You get high then get low, so low. Don't you know, don't you know? I'm a poet, I know it, I am gonna be here for my people. No D-Trump, get down when the beats up. I work hard till the week's up, and I got a voice so I speak up. I'm looking like I made it, doing it different, I won't change it. I'm out of sight, I'm taking flight like a spaceship. Don't you know, don't you know? I got the show on the road, I go. Don't you know, don't you know? Everything I do on my own, I'm alone. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know? Everything I do on my own, I'm alone. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know? You get high then get low, so low. Don't you know? Don't you know? I'm a poet, I know it, I am gonna be here for my people. No D-Trump, get down when the beats up. I work hard till the week's up, and I got a voice so I speak up. I'm looking like I made it, doing it different, I won't change it. I'm out of sight, I'm taking flight like a spaceship. Do you know what it's like to wanna give up inside? Do you know what it's like to be alone in a fight? I said, do you know what it's like to wanna give up inside? Do you know what it's like to be alone in a fight? I said, don't you know? Do you know what it's like to wanna give up inside? Do you know what it's like to be alone in a fight? I said,
All right, guys, that was Lifted. Do you know what it's like? Great track, bumping that all day, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Check him out. We'll share it on our social media, that entire track, this YouTube channel, Facebook page, all of this stuff. So, Darren,
Yes.
what's up in the sports world this week?
Oh, the sports world is getting down to the nitty gritty come playoff time. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff. The two major sports, hockey and basketball, are down their final four. Obviously, there's correction in the NHL. One team has made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's the Boston Bruins. They end up sweeping the Carolina Hurricanes.
Does that hurt you, Darren? Does that hurt you?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. But yeah, so they end up sweeping the Carolina Hurricanes 4 games to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they take on the winner of the San Jose and St. Louis series. St. Louis is up 3 games to 2 in that series, so St. Louis plays tonight against San Jose for a chance to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, and so that's happening. But let's get to what people are talking about is the NBA and those playoffs. If you were watching the game last night, incredible game between the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers. That game went to overtime, and with the tough effort by the Portland Trailblazer, but the Golden State Warriors are heading to the NBA Finals for, get this, Jake, a fifth straight year. Fifth
No
straight
surprise.
year that they're heading to the NBA Finals.
Yep.
They all did this without Kevin Durant. in
Hmm.
this entire series, which is amazing.
Yep.
Or just to show you how great of a player Steph Curry is.
Right. Now, the reason they're doing this without Kevin Durant, it's not like they needed Kevin Durant to win. Kevin Durant is their insurance. That's why he came over, a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
They won a championship without him before. They can't
Hmm.
win one without him. He's
Sure.
their insurance. He's pretty much one of the best players in the league right now.
Hmm.
And the team's better with him, but it plays differently without him, and it's harder to prepare for. If he's not there, you have other bench players coming. The team shoots. He goes in there. He's 7 feet tall. He's dynamic. Yeah, they prepare for him differently. The team doesn't need him. Plays differently, but he is one of the best players. So without him, they can win. With him, they'll win. This team's really, really hard to beat.
Oh, without a doubt. And obviously, if they come back, for the NBA Finals, which I think they will, that's just. But but it's not just Kevin Durant. If you get DeMarcus Cousins in there, you have two NBA All Stars joining your team for the NBA Finals. So they got to be the favorite, whoever they play in the East. And speaking of the East, that series is now cut in half, where it's 2-1. Milwaukee Bucks over the Toronto Raptors. The
Yeah.
Raptors and Bucks play tonight in Toronto. Pivotal game 4. It is must win for Toronto tonight. Obviously, they had to it took them 2 overtimes in game 3 to get their first win of the series. So, Jake, who do you like in that series? Do you think Toronto
As much as
pulls it out?
Toronto's playing really, really hard, but I think Milwaukee's going to step in there and win. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're going to have Milwaukee in there. If Toronto goes to the finals, they're going to get destroyed. At least Milwaukee going into the final, they'll have an opportunity. But because you don't know what kind of Golden State team you're going to get, right? We still don't know who's going to be playing or not. But in the East, I think Milwaukee has a better chance of putting up a better fight than Toronto in the final. But it's this is what NBA is all about. You want to watch this. It's entertaining. You don't know right now who's going to come out of the East. It's a battle. Whoever comes out, is if they go 6-7 games, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a tired team. And then Golden State is going to be rested, the best team in the league. And then we'll see what happens.
Oh, no doubt about it. So obviously that's obviously us being in Canada, we are just constantly hearing through the coverage of the Toronto, and this is must make or break for them this game. So we'll see what happens. From basketball to football, OTAs for the Detroit Lions have started this past weekend. It's great to see the rookies and the veterans, coming together, practicing together. Matthew Stafford, finding hopefully his new best friend TJ Hawkinson in the end zone a lot this season. So
Yeah, they had some videos up on Twitter of him
Yeah.
throwing that deep one to Hockenstock.
Hawkinstock, yeah.
So we'll
So
see.
so obviously, obviously it's good that they have some sort of a connection. It's good to build a relationship, especially with these young players coming in. It really shows how important a good veteran on your team is. Where you could take these young kids and just teach them how to be a pro on and off the field. So obviously that's getting into it. Obviously, I was hearing a little bit today on the radio coming in is that they've been experimenting with Frank Ragnow at center and having Graham
Ooh.
Glasgow go over to guard.
Glasgow's been really good at center, though.
Yeah,
He's been
but obviously,
really good.
but obviously that Frank Ragnow has had some playing experience in college at Arkansas playing center, so it's not like
Yeah.
he's brand new to the position. Obviously, if he's a better fit, I got no problem with it.
Right.
But I think the true sign of preseason, training camp, and preseason is going to be that offensive line.
Yeah, they have to do something. You have to protect Stafford. You want to win any games this year. He has to be standing up for 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Exactly. So and maybe this is what they designed. Maybe they're just not really convinced that he's the gunslinger anymore, and they want to put him as a game manager, where he's kind of Russell Wilson-esque,
Well,
where
he's not running anywhere. We know that.
no,
But
not in terms of running, Jake. I mean, in
no, I
terms
know, but he
of
has
controlling
to
the game.
distribute the ball better. And he had, like I said, last year he mailed it in. You
Yeah.
know, the year before that, his footwork got better. You saw him move around the pocket better, outside the pocket, you know, being a little more evasive. This year, who knows what we're gonna get? I'm waiting
Right.
till season preseason game 2 or 3 to see what happens there, and then I'll worry about it. But that's a
Right.
few months away until I
Hey,
get all angry about this team again.
exactly. And just another side note that this was a voluntary OTA. It wasn't mandatory, but there was no Darius Slay or Damon Snacks Harrison at these OTAs. A lot of people that are closer to the team said that they're kind of waiting. That they're kind of hoping for a new contract before uh, the season kicks off. So if you're a Lions executive, do you make that a priority to get Damon Harrison and Slay under
Yeah,
contract before the
I'd
season starts?
extend them. You can't spend that much money, but I'd extend them
Yeah,
as much as I could right now. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Especially Snacks Harrison being one of the best run stoppers in the entire
Yeah,
NFL.
that D line needs to perform this year.
Yeah,
So yeah, for sure.
there's a lot of reports that the Detroit the Detroit defensive line is I think the most underrated in all football, which
And I'm okay with that.
I
That's
love
good.
it. I think
Yeah.
it's great, because I think they have so much depth this year at their defensive line, especially all those injured players that are coming back. I'm talking about
Yep.
Deshaun Hand and Romeo Aquara.
You know who Lions should sign off on a veteran minimum contract? Who's a free agent right now? Ndamukong Suh.
You know what? That wouldn't be a bad
He's not
idea.
coming to Detroit for $1.5 million. Get out of here.
Hey, I always said that he left for the big money because that was the time to go get a big money contract. Obviously, when you're coming off of Pro Bowl caliber years, but I really liked him in Detroit, and I think he liked playing in Detroit. The fans loved his attitude when he wasn't stomping on quarterbacks legs
Oh, he
and
didn't want
wrists.
to be here. But it'll be funny if he ever comes back. Let's say
It,
the Lions for a
it's
veteran
not
minimum.
out.
Laugh my ass off. It'd be
It's not
great.
out of the realm
No, it's
possibility.
not. Nobody else is picking him up right now, so
Exactly. So
yeah.
maybe
That'll
he's
be
holding
good middle of the line.
exactly. So yeah. So all that is your sports recap for this week.
All right, and let's go off of that a little bit because before we get all controversial, let's wrap up this show with garbage person of the week.
Garbage.
Garbage. All right, and my garbage person of the week is Kevin Durant.
What?
Yeah, Kevin Durant, like most athletes, should stay off of social media. And this goes out to all athletes, but I'm gonna specifically pick on Kevin Durant today. Like, Kevin Durant sitting at home tweeting out at people who are tweeting at him that Golden State doesn't need him. And I just explained why Golden State does or doesn't. So he has to understand that because tweeting at people because you're angry because they're tweeting at you like, oh, Golden State's winning without you. Well, you're still getting paid, bud. You still got championships. Why are you worried about fans on Twitter tweeting you or media tweeting at you? Who cares? Turn the computer off, go watch the game on TV, get in rehab, come back the next couple games, and go win another championship.
Mm-hmm.
You come back, they win. Boom. You got yourself another championship. Who gives a shit what they say? You made your money, you and your championships, one of the best ever, and you deal with them that way. Not go on social media, don't go on Twitter and start tweeting at people getting all angry about and moody. No, that's dumb. And that's what, and we locally know Ebron is a piece of garbage, and he does that a lot up in Indy, tweeting at people and getting all mad. Don't be like that, Mr. Durant. You're winning championships. You are one of the best players in the league. You're getting paid lots of money to play a sport. You are probably going to get a ginormous contract to go to New York in the off season. Why are you even bothering with these people? And by bothering, it makes you look like garbage because it affects you. Don't be a garbage person of the week like you are right now. Stop it.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again? Do you have time?
Be better. Don't be Ebron.
Do better.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Do better. Good. Well done.
Yeah.
I just want to add to that because you talk about then him gonna go sign in New York. I don't think New York's not the hot destination anymore. Ever since they lost out on Zion, it's
Well, you think Kevin Durant's gonna go to the Pelicans?
no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that they if they were to get Zion, yeah, New York would be the place to go for Kyrie and Durant and all those players.
There might be some crazy offseason shit that's gonna go down this year.
Yeah,
there might be some trades going on, but
no, Jake,
Jake,
if anything that's gonna happen, I can see Zion going back to Duke for one more year
because he doesn't want to play with the Pelicans.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be an interesting off season. Yeah. Once everything settles down, if he goes back to Duke, I don't know if he can.
Exactly.
I don't know if he can.
And does Anthony Davis stay with New Orleans now that they have
Exactly.
That's
a giant contract. That's going to be an interesting offseason. That's what I'm saying. Settle down, homie. Relax. Watch the game. Go play. Get rehab. Whatever. Go win a championship, and then stop tweeting at fucking people. I don't do it. You don't do it. Nobody should be doing it.
Yeah. Unless they deserve it.
Unless they deserve it, yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. All right. So now that's the show for today. But now we're gonna get into something serious. And for those who don't want to get serious, turn off the show now. Go away. We're gonna get controversial. And why we're gonna get controversial? Because the A to G program doesn't shy away from having an opinion on everything. And we're gonna bring you the most honest opinions about everything that we do. And my honesty was challenged this week. So I want to talk about it. And I kind of mentioned it to Darren, and he didn't mind us doing this today. And that's what we're going to do. And Darren, I do want your opinion on it. Once I tell you my story, because I had an interesting story.
All
right. This week. And it revolves around as you know, the Alabama abortion laws that came into effect, that got signed in. And let's get one thing clear. Okay? I don't argue with anybody about anything unless I know things. Mm-hmm. This is, for example, I don't talk with Darren about hockey because I don't know and I don't care. Okay? That's just how it is. Yeah. That's his thing. Yeah. I don't do it. I'm not gonna have an opinion on, the fourth line of the Maple Leafs and how it's performing. I don't care. I don't have that knowledge.
Underwhelmed.
And I'm not gonna research it because if Darren asks me, then I'll research it, so I know something about it. But it's not necessary to my life right now. With this thing, I have an opinion about it. The only thing that gets me is people's reactions, because this whole thing comes down to reaction. Now, on social media, you'll see everyone having a similar reaction, especially on my social media when I'm scrolling through all my posts, and everybody's against it. Against it, women's rights, women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. Good. I don't disagree with you. I might be offending some of my friends today, and I might be getting on this topic on the side of some of my other friends. Some of my friends will be very surprised with my opinion. I am with you with this decision. I am against it, okay? Let's get that one thing out of the way. I'm against the law. Does it affect me in any way? No. But I understand you. I'm with you on this. You're against it. You think no one should tell you what to do with your body. I 100% agree. I agree with you. No one should tell me what to do with my body. If I want to take drugs, I'll take drugs. If I want to drink myself silly, I will drink myself silly. I want to pierce my knee so I can walk with a bolt in my knee. That's what I get to do. No one should tell me what I can or can't do. We covered face tattoos last week. Right. Whatever. Do what the hell you want. Pierce your fucking head. I don't give a shit. If I want to inject ink into my blood so why my blood's purple, cool. My choice. I don't care if it's poison. You want to have an abortion? Have one. I don't care. Your body, your choice, your issue. That does not affect me at all. That is your body, your choice. We agree. And what thing you have to remember, one thing I support 100%. No government should tell me what to do with my body. No government should tell me what I can or can't do with it. Okay, let's get that straight. And that doesn't only limit it to abortion. This is just my opinion.
Right.
Darren will have his in a minute. My opinion is, I get to do with what I want with it at all times. This is not just one issue that you get to say, "Oh, this is abortion. The government should have no opinion on what I do with my body." You're 100% right, but you need to apply that to everything, because if you only take this one issue and you apply this to, and everything else is okay, then that's also a problem. This has to be across the board thing. You shouldn't have people telling you what you can or can't do with your own personal body. Okay, let's get that straight. So there you go. First thing, we agree on that with all of you online. Second of all, we have to go to the actual rule. No government influence on your personal being. Okay, so that's out of the way. Okay, that's not my issue though, because me agreeing with you is one thing. What I don't agree with is discrimination, and this show will not stand for any racism or discrimination of any kind against anybody of anything. Okay, we are all inclusive. But here's the thing: when someone goes online and blames a group of people by their skin color and by their sex for the faults of whatever is happening, is where I have the issue. Okay? So when someone online goes and posts white males are the problem, I will take offense to that. Okay? Because you obviously don't understand how things work. You obviously don't understand how rules work. You don't understand what an electorate is. You don't understand what a judiciary is. You don't understand how things process. So as soon as you say something like that, you're automatically disqualified from being a normal person. You are insane. You are not qualified to have an opinion when you state something like that. I know what you're trying to get at, but when I say to you, and this happened online, that is racism, and you say, no, white males are the problem, screw white people, and other language that's not appropriate, I take offense to that. And especially when you don't have a white person card. It doesn't work that way. It's not racial. We are humans. It's not white, black, purple, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're discriminating to make your point, and you can't do that because you're stupid. Actually, no, I take that back. You're not stupid. You're ignorant. Because if you were stupid, we can fix it. But you can't fix ignorant. You really can't. And that goes in any direction. And I don't want to put these people down. I really don't. Because I can articulate any point here about anything because I know something about it. For example, this issue. I had no idea what the hell this bill was all about. Guess what I did? I went online and read it. I still don't agree with it, but at least I know what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean when you quote 27 white males are the problem. Well, no, dumb shit. That's not the problem. The problem is who elected these people. Whoever elected these people in that state are people of different colors, different races, males and females, transgenders, whoever the fuck wanted to voted these people in. And by the way, the person who wrote the bill is a woman. The person who passed the bill, the governor, is also a woman. So that makes you 3 times as stupid if you're arguing with me right now. Because you still don't get it. You don't know how it all works. You're mad at people who passed the bill? No. Be mad at the bill. The people who passed it have the support of the electorate. That's how that works. The person who signed it and has that bill into power. So be mad at them for the actual bill. Don't be racist, because I take offense to that. Now, and I told these people, there's a group of them, if you change the white to black and it sounds racist to you, then it's racist either way. I shouldn't have to point that out to people at this time. It's 2009 fucking 19. Why? Why do I have to do that? So the problem here is you can argue your point, just don't use that. It's not okay to use any form of discrimination or racism to make your point, especially a point that you don't know that I agree with you on. And then going to another level to call me racist and a Nazi supporter, which for those who know me very well, do I look like a fucking Polish Nazi to you? These are people who obviously have no idea who I am
Yeah.
and what I stand for.
Yeah.
Okay, they calling me names where it's not relevant to anything. It's not necessary, but it just proves their ignorance. And not to be mean or anything, but this is the ditch diggers and trailer park trash of Windsor that I'm arguing here with. So, no offense to trailer park people, because I love you. I have lots of people around here that are, but this is what I mean. These are really, really, really ignorant, zero informed people that overreact to anything and everything and scream and just are out there to yell and scream about anything they feel like with no knowledge or information. Also, the same people who have done nothing or been anywhere in life to know anything about anything. So I take it with a grain of salt. I know where it's coming from, but we should all be aware how that comes off because it is public. And to go out of your way and invade my privacy the way they did is also another thing. That's where you kind of cross the line, and this is where I wanted to come on the show and kind of go into this issue, because it goes from one degree to another degree of issues really quick, and these people can't tell the difference between the two, and that's coming from not knowing what they talk about in the first place. So make themselves look stupid. They get the support of their stupid friends. I'm sorry, again, ignorant, and they think it's okay. Well, it's not okay by any means, and these people should know better, don't know any better, and unfortunately, that's a piece of society that I don't think we can fix. So that's my thing right there.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
I think you pretty much covered it all, Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's,
I have
it,
to
it,
get that out there.
no, absolutely. And then people are gonna say, for those of you who who agree with Jake and who don't agree with Jake, obviously you all have your right to voice your own opinion, because that's the one thing that we all have that no one can take from us is our opinion. But yeah, Jake brought up a lot of good points where it should be, it's kind of like think before you tweet or think before you speak, as the old person as the old saying would go. But yeah, it's just some, like you said, ignorant people just don't know how to act sometimes.
Right, and this show is never going to get political. We're never going to do that ever, because it's very divisive, and we want to keep the show lively and timely and interesting and informative. Again, we talk about stuff we know a lot, and I know a lot about politics, but I don't want to get into it. I really don't. It's something I keep track of. I've been keeping track of politics for the last 18 years. It's fun for me to do. I read a lot. I research a lot. But we're not going to get into it. This is a fun show. But I thought this is something that if it's out there, it needs to be talked about a little bit. For either way, doesn't matter. But at least talk about it. Because you see, there's a lot of outrage for this, right there. And I'm sure you see it online.
Right.
But
Oh.
where's the outrage? Like, I understand this is Alabama. This has nothing to do with us, really. And if you're so concerned for women's rights, I don't see anybody looking at the slave trade in the Middle East that's still around, the sex trade that's still in the Middle East, the African genocides that are still happening against women, the mutilations that are happening in Africa still, the genocides that are still happening in Africa and the Middle East. Like, where are you guys? If you're so concerned about something thousands of kilometers away, you should be concerned about stuff happening in the other direction too. Like, if it's a whole common good, isn't it? So if you're so concerned about that, our world problems, look around the other side of the world. If you consider, there's much worse problems to be concerned about and give attention to. Mm-hmm. If you just get out of your bubble to scream about something you have no idea about and actually look what's happening in the world. There's a lot of issues you can throw your loud voice into and learn something if you really want to.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you said, like I think a lot of people like, let's take care of the problems at home before we think of, international. But yeah, obviously, like you said, there are tons of world problems out there. But I think people should just really think about what affects them in their everyday lives. And obviously, if this affects you, then yeah, you're going to give more attention. You're going to give more attention to it there than something that's going on in Indonesia or wherever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Had to get that out there.
Good. Well done.
All right, good stuff. So, if you want to see the ADG Podcast pages, we're on Facebook at ADG Podcast. We have our Twitter. We have our Instagram, which is always lively. We have our iTunes page. Hit that up. iTunes just updated to a podcast page. You can directly listen off your phone or your whatever. You don't actually have to download iTunes. Just have it play it off your phone. We're pretty much everywhere. Check all that out. If you have any issues, music submissions, adgpodcast@gmail.com. Keep an eye out. We're going to have some interviews coming up, some musical artists, some interesting things, and are working on something special for maybe our season 1 finale. Right, Darren?
That's right.
Working on something.
We'll have something special lined up for that.
All right. So for the ADG Podcast, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Darren.
And we are ADG.